What is up, guys? It's Skill up here with another Should I Buy It? To look at what are the vendors selling and should you buy it. This is, I believe, the best vendor reset that we have ever had before, and as we go through the video, I'm going to tell you why. There is just so much good stuff to buy this week, and it's perfect for the start of a new patch because you get some really great new weapons and you also get some mods that help get you up over the line so that you can start sort of min-maxing your builds really fast. I do these videos every single week, so if you like this stuff, drop the video a like and be sure to subscribe. Quick note, I will not be doing a vendor reset video for the next 2 weeks as I'm actually going to be getting married. So I apologize, but I will be at my wedding next week and then on my honeymoon the following after that. So apologies, but I will definitely be back soon after that and I will continue these videos as normal. And with that, let's get stuck into this week's Should I Buy It? At the base of operations at the weapons vendor, this guy is selling a fairly okay black market SASG 12. It's got ferocious on it with a very high electronics requirement. It's got responsive, which is perfect for this weapon. It's also got meticulous. In my previous video, I said to the ire of many that I don't like meticulous on an M60 because it has enough bullets. It doesn't matter if you have to reload them. With an SASG 12, however, the magazine is much smaller, so meticulous can actually be quite helpful on this weapon because you do need to reload it quite often. So check that out if that is your thing. For the healers out there at the gear vendor here, there's a support station healing speed mod 4.5%. There you go. At the advanced weaponry vendor, he's selling the same named weapons as before, including the Pecan, which is unquestionably one of the best weapons in the game right now with swift, destructive, and ferocious. If you're just starting out, particularly those PS4 players who are just joining us on patch 1.5, be sure to pick this one up. It is really first class. He's also selling a really nice custom M870 MCS. Now it's good because it's got vicious and it's got fierce. These aren't particularly amazing talents, but if you're really looking for a burst shotgun style of play, then these talents do work quite well. I will warn you, however, that the M870 has been nerfed significantly and it is nowhere near as potent as it once was if one-shot shotgun builds are your desire. There's a black market M60 E6 here that rolls with competent, meticulous, and skilled. Skilled in the third slot, absolutely fantastic. I personally don't like meticulous here on an M60, but a lot of people love it, so if that's your thing, there it is for you. Competent, I'd probably roll this away on this weapon. It's got the 3800 electronics requirement, which is very high, and I'd probably switch this out for a more damage-focused talent. I will say this kind of composition of talents works really well with an Alpha Bridge style of build, so if you're running LMG Alpha Bridge, this may be worth checking out. The special equipment vendor downstairs has some excellent loot for us this week. So first up, Rhino Special. This is the new type of sidearm. It's sort of like a Magnum. It hits really hard. It's got a small mag. The thing that makes the special variant of the Rhino the best is that you can actually put an optic in it. It has an optic slot. It's the only variant that has that. So this is really excellent. As for the talents, it's got accurate, which isn't particularly great, but you can roll it away, get something else, whatever you like. And yeah, it's a really good weapon to have in your back pocket. So check that one out. There's a PP19 here with Adept, Brutal, and Hurried. Adept is obviously okay. You know, it's that using your skill increases your critical hit chance by 7.5% for 15 seconds. Synergizes very well with an SMG. Brutal obviously is excellent, particularly in PvE. And Hurried is okay if you're looking for PvE throughput. It's one of the best talents you can get. If, however, you're looking for PvP burst damage, then you would roll that away and get something else. There's a classic AK-47 here. AK-47s have the highest base damage of any assault rifle except for the burst damage foul. This one has responsive, which is okay, predatory, which is excellent, and prepared, which obviously doesn't really work with responsive, and so you kind of have to roll one of those away, but that's not too bad. And there's also an RPK-74M here with predatory, dominant, and brutal. You'd roll away dominant, and yeah, it's okay. If you're going to get an RPK though, I'd recommend getting the Pecan, the one I talked about upstairs. They're the same weapon variant, however the Pecan has higher base damage, and I think the talents are better personally, but it's up to you. Alright, so just a note on these vendor items here. Now these actually do rotate each week, right? So it's really important for you to check what you actually need, and then to look at whether or not these are good rolls. And the best way to determine whether or not these items are god roll items is actually just simply check the minor stat slot right here, enemy armor damage. If that appears on an item, it generally speaking is in a very good place, and it's probably going to be a very good roll so long as the other stuff lines up. So that's the quick tip I want to give you about how to size up these items quickly. For instance, this Hunter's Faith mask that has enemy armor damage, crit hit chance, and firearms is great. All I would really need to do is change, critical hit chance to something else if I wanted, or the base stat, whatever I like, but at least I've got that enemy armor damage locked in. These Sentry Call knee pads is another great example. Base firearms, protection from elites, enemy armor damage there. So all I need to really do is change this to armor, re-roll that, and that is a really perfectly rolled set of Sentry's knee pads, so long as I needed firearms in that base stat. In particular, I would point you to this defense set of knee pads that has base stamina, armor, and enemy armor damage at 11%. Fantastic roll. It's just awesome. It's also got burn resistance as well. And anyone that's running the defense gear set knows that fire is your enemy. Having some burn resistance with you is really helpful indeed. There's a whole bunch of other stuff here as well. I'll let you check that out at your leisure. But hey, look, it's a really, really good setup. For those of you running these one-shot sticky bomb builds that are now back in fashion, there's a prototype performance mod here with 3.5% sticky bomb damage. Not that you need it. The sticky bomb is dealing so much damage in PvP right now, it's a little bit ridiculous. And finally, for weapon mods, there's an extended magazine here, magazine size, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, absolutely perfect for anyone running an SMG, so check that one out. There's a really well-rolled Tyrant suppressor here, critical hit chance, headshot damage and accuracy, and reduced threat, very nice. And as always, if you have any Phoenix credits left over for the week, you can of course buy this gear set sealed cash for 200 Phoenix credits. Try your luck there. The Special Blueprints vendor is also selling some good stuff. This week he's got the MP7 blueprint for us. Now the MP7 is back in business. It did get a buff this patch. It's now one of the best SMGs that you can get, particularly from a burst damage perspective. So I would strongly recommend getting this blueprint if that's your thing. He's also selling the M870 Express blueprint. I probably wouldn't recommend getting this one. It's just taken too much of a nerf now. It just is not what it once was. I think you could probably spend your Phoenix credits and your materials on something better. He's selling the Firearms gear mod blueprint as well as the Electronics gear mod blueprint. They are of course the level 34 variants, so pick those up and roll as many of them as you can, particularly the Firearms gear mod blueprint. You want ones that roll with bonus armor. At the Cavern Safehouse, there's a really fantastic electronics mod here. It's rolled with 240 base electronics, great roll there, and also 3,164 bonus skill power. So yeah, that's just an awesome roll. Pick it up if you need it. At Camp Hudson, which is the starting area, there's a muzzle brake here, which is not too bad. It's got stability, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance. This would work really well on any type of assault rifle. They have a lot of kick on them, so stability is your #1 concern, and having bonus crit hit damage and crit hit chance is going to help you out after that point. At the Meat Locker Safehouse, purchase of the week here is the new FAMAS. Now, PS4 players, you're going to be joining us now, patch 1.5. Fingers crossed on Tuesday. I really hope that happens. My God, I hope that happens. When you do, I'd really recommend just going straight to this guy and buying this weapon. The new FAMAS is a really first-rate assault rifle. It has a talent called Uncomplicated. Damage is increased by 15%. Accuracy and stability mods reduce this bonus. You don't really need a lot of accuracy and stability on this thing though. I mean, it has a lot of kick, don't get me wrong, but you can definitely get by without stacking it really high. It also has Destructive, which is a top tier talent that now works in PvP. And you also have Unforgiving, which, some people really like this, particularly if you're PvPing and you're expecting your health to drop. This is great. 25% bonus damage when you're in that last segment of health is just huge. But obviously at the same time, if you're a sort of more careful, more considered player, someone playing PvE, maybe this doesn't quite suit your playstyle, maybe that's the talent you'll roll away. Either way, it's a really, really fantastic weapon, fantastic roll on it. I will absolutely be picking that one up right now myself. At the Madison's Stand Safehouse, there is a prototype performance mod here that has rolled with critical hit chance. Anyone looking for more burst damage out of their pulse, this is the mod for you. At the East 42nd DZ checkpoint, this is probably the second best thing you can buy this week, or perhaps even the best. It's a prototype stamina mod with 261 base stamina and 271 armor. It's just awesome. I will be buying 4 of them and putting them straight into my gear because they are amazing. At the West 34th Street DZ checkpoint, there's an MP7 on sale here. It's got responsive, which is good. It's got talented, which I don't think is great in that 3rd slot. It's also got meticulous, which I spoke about before. It can be okay, but generally speaking, the MP7 is it's a PvP weapon. Meticulous doesn't really help you out much in that context. So look, I'd probably give this one a miss, especially given that you can buy the blueprint this week. I'd buy that instead of this, but if you're really keen on it and you don't have Phoenix credits, then hey, here it is. At the West 39th Street DZ checkpoint, there's a fairly good SOCOM MK20 SSR, which is the same sort of Scar H variant of Marksman Rifle, one of the better ones now since they were significantly buffed in patch 1.4. This one rolls with Discipline. Killing a target will make your next shot with the weapon be an automatic critical hit, not bad. Destructive, we've already spoken about. Top tier talent. And finally, Commanding, which you can roll away, but that's perfect because that's in the 3rd slot. You can replace it with whatever you like. I think it's a fairly solid, fairly well-rolled Marksman Rifle. I would definitely check it out. At the West 53rd Street DZ checkpoint, there's a really nice police T821 here. It's got Destructive, which we've already spoken about, top tier. Talented, roll that one away. And finally, Competent. Lots of people love Competent in the 3rd slot because it actually has a very high electronics requirement. Popping a skill increases your damage by 10% for 15 seconds. Synergizes very well with things like Booster Shot Heal or Pulse. If you're PvPing and you pop those abilities, you get yourself a nice 10% bonus damage. So I know a lot of people are keen on that kind of combination. There you go. At the DZ4 vendor, the one that sells mods, she is selling an absolutely awesome firearms mod. It is base firearms and bonus armor. As you gear, you'll find that you may need 1 or 2 firearms mods in order to hit your weapon talents. This is the mod that you would use, the one with bonus armor, and then you would pile the rest of it. After you've hit your weapon talent requirements, you'd pile the rest of it into stamina. So my recommendation, grab a few of these. They are going to serve you extremely well. The DZ3 Safehouse this week hasn't got a huge amount. He's got a really nice enhanced AUG A3P. It's got Destructive, Hurried, and Adept on it. All 3 of these work quite well. Hurried, you may want to get rid of that if you're more focused on PvP, otherwise it's really fantastic for PvE. He's also got a military MK46 here with self-preserved, prepared, and fierce. I don't think it's a fantastic combination of talents, but if you're really chasing one of the belt-fed LMGs in patch 1.5, this is a fairly good start. I'd probably recommend rolling away fierce in this 3rd slot, going for something like Destructive. Fierce on an MK46, probably not the best given that you don't really build for crit with it. And finally, to top it all off for the week, as though it hasn't been good enough already, at the DZ2 Safehouse, there's a pair of Savage Gloves here that rolls with base firearms, Savage, critical hit chance, SMG damage, critical hit damage. I mean, please, what are you doing to us, Massive? I mean, how much can we buy in 1 week? There it is, guys. It's really, really nice. Pick it up if you need it. Anyway, that is it. PS4 players, I hope to God that you join us this week. I hope that Sony certified the damn patch and it rolls out on Tuesday. As I said, I think this is the best vendor reset that we've ever had before. It's a shame that you missed out on the MP5 last week. Massive said that they will try and get it to you by some means, but at least you've got an MP7 this week. You've got some amazing mods. You've got the new FAMAS. You've got those Savage Gloves that I just talked to you about. Heaps and heaps of stuff. Guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, do drop it a like. Please subscribe to the channel. This is the sort of stuff that I do. But just a quick note, I will not be doing a vendor reset video for the next 2 weeks because I'm actually getting married. I said that at the start of the video. I just wanted to remind everyone now, so you can definitely expect to see me back after that. Anyway, guys, thanks very much. Take good care, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.